In 1776, Thomas Paine wrote that government exists not to grant us happiness, but to restrain our vices so that freedom can survive. Almost 250 years later, we're still wrestling with that same question. Where does personal freedom end and civic responsibility begin? Welcome back to Common Sense 2.0. Over the past weeks, I have laid out a mandate for America. 10 articles grounded in democratic principles, constitutional law, and simple moral logic, designed to counter the dangerous agendas of Trump, MAGA extremism, and Project 2025. Today, I want to step back and explore the philosophical foundation beneath all of it, because every major political conflict we face right now boils down to a single tension: individual self-determination versus collective obligation. Personal freedom is essential. Without it, democracy collapses into authoritarianism. But freedom without responsibility doesn't produce liberty. It produces chaos. A functioning society requires shared rules, mutual trust, and a willingness to accept limits in exchange for protection, stability, and opportunity. The hard question is this: when does civic responsibility strengthen freedom, and when does it threaten it? Let's be clear about one thing. There is no such thing as absolute freedom in a society of millions. Your freedom to act ends where it causes harm to others or undermines the systems that protect everyone. That's why we accept traffic laws, building codes, taxes, environmental protections, public health standards, free and fair elections. None of these eliminate liberty, they preserve it. They are the cost of living together without fear. But responsibility can be weaponized. History shows us that governments often claim to act for the common good while stripping away fundamental rights: voting access, bodily autonomy, freedom of speech, equal protection under the law. When civic duty is used as a pretext for control, discrimination, or minority rule, it stops being responsibility and it becomes oppression. That's the line that Thomas Paine warned us about. Today, movements like MAGA and Project 2025 don't argue for balance. They demand obedience. They redefine freedom as the right to dominate, exclude, and ignore consequences, while using government power to enforce ideology. That is not liberty. That is authoritarianism, wearing patriotic clothing. So where is the boundary? What's the simplest way to draw it? Civic responsibility is legitimate when it protects equal rights, prevents harm, and strengthens democracy. It becomes illegitimate when it concentrates power, suppresses participation, or places one group above another. Freedom and responsibility are not opposites. They are partners, or they are enemies. And which one they become depends on whether power is accountable to the people. Thomas Paine believed common sense was enough to defeat tyranny, if people were willing to use it. The future of American democracy depends on whether we understand this balance and whether we're willing to defend it. If you haven't watched the Mandate for America playlist yet, I invite you to start there. Because democracy doesn't survive on freedom alone. It survives on responsibility, courage, and participation. My name is Ken. Thank you for watching Common Sense 2.0 in defense of our democracy.